Gavin Larson here. We are on the floor of the trade show at the Bryant National Dealer Convention, and I've got a very special guest. I've got Travis Rose from Rose Heating and Air Conditioning from Urbana, Illinois, who was the 2022 Bryant Dealer of the Year. Travis, glad to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? How long have you been in the HVAC business?
Oh, I'm actually just starting my 31st year in the HVAC industry.
Wow.
So I've been doing it a while.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So congratulations on winning the 2022 Dealer of the Year award. You have, that's incredible in and of itself, but you have a small but mighty team. I think you have around, 10 people?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's really impressive. Can you tell me a little bit more about, what winning that award meant to you and meant to your team?
Oh man, we've been asked that a bunch of times, and the answer pretty much remains the same on that it couldn't happen at a better time, in my opinion, for us. We're celebrating our 60th anniversary, third generation business owner. So I know for me personally, what it meant for me is growing up in the business, there's a lot of weight on your shoulders when it's time for you to take over the business. And everybody knew I knew the industry, knew how to turn wrenches, diagnose, work in the field, run a good business, but can I make that step to the next level, and can I accomplish such a feat as that? And so it was a big accomplishment for me. It was a big accomplishment for our company, more so for my team on there. We're a family atmosphere. Just because everybody's last name does not match the name on the front of the building does not mean they're not part of the Rose family.
Right.
So that meant just as much to my guys as what it did to me out there. And so we shared that win with them in a group text as soon as I found out on there. And so we all kind of virtually partied together a little bit after hearing the win on that. So it meant the world to all of us.
You won as a team.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
great. Now you mentioned, your name on the side of the building.
Yeah.
You had a different path. Just because your name was on the side of the building doesn't mean it was just all handed to you.
Correct.
Can you talk a little bit more about what you had to go through to kind of earn your way and work your way up the ranks, and how that has influenced you as a business owner?
Absolutely. So I was given the same talk by my father as what my grandfather gave my dad, and that was, your last name does not earn you the right to an office in this company. Your last name earns you the right to sweep shop floors for minimum wage. Then you've got 20 to 25 years to ever prove why you should ever have an office in that company. So I basically worked myself from the ground up, from shop boy at 12 years old, and kind of expanded on through every aspect of the industry. So if you can name something in our industry between shop boy at 12 years old and ownership on there, I've done it on there. So I didn't like that path too much when I was a young man. I wanted that office at 12 years old really bad. But today, I thank God for that, the path that I took on there, and was pretty much forced to take there. It makes sense to me now. It makes sense to my team, the amount of respect that I get from my team now. So I have a philosophy with my team, and that's, I'm never going to ask you to do anything that I haven't personally done, or I wouldn't be willing to go and do myself again on that. And so they understand that I can empathize with them and sympathize with them, and I know what it's like to be in a 140-degree attic in the middle of July, to where they can't sit there and say, he doesn't know what this is like.
Right.
He just sits in the office all day. That's all he's ever done.
Yeah.
On that I have that support system from them, and they, I don't get much complaints from them about it, because they know I've been in their shoes multiple times.
Yeah. Real leaders, they lead from the front, not from the back.
Correct.
So
Absolutely.
I think your grandpa and your dad, they knew what they were doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So can you tell me a little bit more about what you think sets Rose apart from all the other companies, maybe in your area, or other HVAC companies?
Absolutely. So it's another very common question for us, you described it earlier, being so small but mighty on there. So we've heard that a lot. And basically what I feel that sets us apart is all business owners, you have the same goal. You need to be profitable. You want to continue your growth. I just focus on different ways to do it. I do a lot of studying on what our industry is, where we're heading, where we've been on there. And even though I have the same goals as a lot of business owners, I go out of my way to kind of navigate around the status quo and to take the same path as everybody else. Because I'm a firm believer that we're in a day to where homeowners have 3, 4, 5 options sometimes on there, one right after another. So I refer to it as they've seen that same dog and pony show 3, 4, 5 times before you've ever shown up. So we need to do something different. We spend most of our time figuring out ways to do things different. Back to the small but mighty on there, what we do is uncomfortable for a lot of people, even as human beings, is to look inward first. So we always try to develop our efficiency as a company first on there. So even though we're that small, I've been told that we are, average about 3 to 5 times what a company R does as far as output and production. on there. And that starts by us taking care of our people, and they're going to continue to find new ways to produce even more. The crew I have is just amazing right now, that every year is a record-setting year with these same guys, and somehow we keep outproducing over and over again with it. And so not only do I find ways to become more efficient in the company, my team does that all the time on our behalf as well.
That's awesome. So find the right people and just take them all the way.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's terrific. So can you talk to us a little bit more about your customers? You know, what have they been telling you, or what are they looking for, you know, when it comes to either products that are out there or, you know, maybe a dealer?
Absolutely. So it's always been the fact where customers, I think, are always, you know, they're not as HVAC savvy as what we are, and sometimes we take some of that for granted, I feel like, just because me especially being around it for 30 years, I have to kind of slow down sometimes and understand I'm starting over every time I talk with someone new, with a new customer. But as far as products right now, people are looking for dependability. They're looking for a company that, a manufacturer that's been around, has a great reputation. So getting you know, top 2 in the world right now with Bryant is really good timing for all of us. And so as far as what we're looking for, as far as why we're here at the 2023 event as well, getting 2023 ready, we're also finding out that people are becoming more aware of our surroundings, more aware of decarbonization and electrification here as well. So gone are the days to where heat pumps only belong south of the Mason-Dixon line, and gone are the days where heat pumps only belong in rural areas. So we're seeing that in the city all the time now, that virtually every other customer is asking for heat pump options now. And as far as what I feel they're looking for in a dealer, to back up where we, you know, what we've been going through over the past couple years, homeowners need to be comfortable with who they're dealing with. And so I tell everybody that it's our job to make the homeowner or the contractor that we work for comfortable. And a small portion of that has to actually do with HVAC equipment, in my opinion, on there. That is the icing on the cake, but it's our opinion and our responsibility to, you know, actually make them comfortable before we ever even start installing anything or do a service call for them. So making sure that you protect that reputation, continue to build your reputation. Still to this day, I know we're in a digital world, but word of mouth is the best advertising you can possibly have, because when people are talking with their neighbors, they know for a fact they've used this. This isn't somebody on a possibly true or untrue Google review on there. So comfortability is key right now, is what the world's looking for. We have to slow down a little bit. We have to understand the world's kind of teetering on the brink a little bit here, and people aren't always comfortable with who they're dealing with, much less a stranger that's coming in selling them, you know, a new system for $10,000 to $20,000 on that, and you just met you. So we have to be in a position to continually make them comfortable. That's definitely what they're looking for.
Right, and especially in the communities too. I mean, you go to the same churches, your kids go to the same schools.
Absolutely.
These are your neighbors, like you just mentioned. So, you know, treat them like a neighbor, not a number.
Absolutely,
kind of thing.
100%.
So, yeah. So Travis, can you tell us a little bit more about, you know, what your customers are looking for in terms of, or what you've heard they're looking for in terms of HVAC equipment, and also, you know, for dealers like yourself?
Absolutely. So what I feel that they're looking for right now is, as far as a manufacturing or a brand, when they're making that choice, is dealing with a manufacturer that has a long tenured history, that deals with quality products, that's always at the leading front of innovation, always continuing to move forward. I feel like the same with the dealer on there, that they're looking for good reputation on there, looking for a dealer that's been around a while on there. And it's kind of also back to where we've been in the world here for a little bit as well. So I tell everybody that it's our job as an HVAC dealer to make the homeowner or contractor we work for comfortable. Yeah. And a small portion actually has to do with HVAC equipment, in my opinion, up front. And basically what we need to do is we have to understand that they're trusting us in their home, they're trusting us with their family. And so basically what we need to do is make them comfortable before we ever show up on there. So as far as also back to the equipment, what they're looking for, I think that we're definitely, what we're learning as we're out here this week, is the decarbonization, electrification on there. So we're kind of needing to start to think outside the box, what we're used to a little bit.
Right.
Heat pumps are no longer just out in rural areas anymore. They're no longer only be asked for south of the Mason-Dixon line, a southern state only thing. That we're seeing this about every other bid in the cities now on there, that people are wanting heat pump options. So people are becoming very aware of what's going on in the world right now. People are caring about that. So we need to make sure that we, you know, even as dealers, are dealing with companies such as Bryant on there, that they're aware, that they're bringing us all out here in a week like this and make sure that we are ready.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And I really like the point you meant about, you know, how homeowners are trusting you, because like, at the end of the day, these are your neighbors.
Absolutely.
You see them at church, your kids go to the same school, so treat them like neighbors, not numbers.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that word of mouth is still the best form of advertising on there. And when there's neighbors talking to each other and they actually know the neighbor, they've known him for 10 years, they know that this is a true testimonial from somebody that's actually dealt with that brand, they've dealt with that dealer. And so you better treat that first person accordingly, because that can also get spread that opposite way for you if you're not doing the right thing.
It certainly can.
Yeah.
So, Travis, as the dealer of the year, you had a couple fun perks that you got to choose from. You chose the truck. Can you tell everybody out there a little bit more about your truck? Because I'm a truck guy myself, so I know we love talking about our trucks. So let everybody know what you got.
So just so everybody knows that the truck does exist on there. They actually do give you a truck as one of the options. So we got that not quite 2 weeks ago. It got delivered on a freight carrier to our office, and that was a pretty exciting day on there. So we actually chose it was a 2022 Ford F-250 4x4 Lariat package.
Nice.
So beautiful truck, got delivered, no miles on it, perfect. It's always great when it comes delivered with the title. That's a good thing.
It is.
So right now we are doing a little customization to it to make this truck really stand out. We'll be bringing it with us to the dealer rally here hopefully next year as well on that. So doing some fun things with it as well, and we're going to kind of put our own spin on it as well.
Awesome. Well, you deserve it, so congratulations on that. And so finally, the one question I'm going to ask you is, can you share your experience with Bryant as a company, or any of experience that stands out to you on working with this company, working with this brand?
Absolutely. The biggest thing that I've learned about Bryant and our time with them is how much that they care for their people, for their dealers, that they always want to spend the time, the resources, the money to make sure that we are properly trained, that we're always in the know about what we need to do our job the best. They're never really, cookie cutting things and just barking orders down to the distributors, and the distributors down to us. They're paired with some phenomenal distributors that, outside of the Haberger Corporation, I've met a lot of other folks from other distributors as well, and they all kind of fall right into that same line. The same way with the Bryant dealers on there. It just seems like everybody that we've networked with that is a Bryant dealer on there, for the most part, are just like us. They have these same common goals that they want to continue to move forward. They always want to do what's best for their customers on there. So I think it's what I find very important in today's world is they're treating people like people on there. They're putting the people above their profits on there, which is something that we do all the time as a company. And so it's refreshing to understand that I'm working with a distributor that does that I'm working with a manufacturer like Bryant that does that.
We know how to have fun too, right?
Absolutely, you do.
Work hard, play hard.
Absolutely.
Well, Travis, congratulations again. I mean, that's no small feat, winning Bryant Dealer of the Year. So congratulations from all of us at Bryant.
Thank you.
We thank you for your business, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.